The Dutch mob, also known as the Mocro Maffia, is a criminal organization that has gained notoriety for its brutal and ruthless activities. At the center of this group is Ridouan Taghi, a man who has been described as one of the most dangerous criminals in the world. How did the Mocro Maffia become so powerful? And what is the story behind Ridouan Taghi's notorious rise to infamy? Let's dive into the dark world of the Dutch Mocro Maffia. Taghi was born in the northern region of Morocco. After that, the family welcomed another 6 girls and a boy into the world there. Taghi became a teenage gang bad boys member in the early 1990s. In the vicinity of the Amsterdamse Straatway at the Utrecht shopping center City Plaza in Nieuwegein, the hoodlums were keeping themselves busy. In 1992, Taghi was found guilty for the first time of multiple offenses, including burglary and possession of weapons. Taghi left Nieuwegein High School when he was 17 years old and never returned. By that time, Taghi's family had already reached their maximum potential in the hash business, and they imported it into the country via Morocco. Eventually, Taghi used his hash lines to smuggle cocaine over there, which is known as the white gold among criminals. This began in the year 2000, and Taghi did not come into contact with the police for a long time. For a while, he ran a grill room as a front on the Amsterdamse Straatway in Utrecht through this white gold. Taghi eventually used his hash lines to smuggle cocaine over there, which is known as the white gold among criminals. Taghi became a very powerful player in the drug world and made a lot of money as a result of this. He also becomes very dangerous in the underworld, and he gets quite a reputation for this, which is not unjustified either. Taghi establishes rules stating that talking or getting in the way will not be tolerated. As soon as Ibrahim Buju comes to report it, the Dutch police become aware of Taghi. Buju is on Taghi's hit list, and as a result, he is very scared. Therefore, he steps to the police for protection. They had never heard of that name before, and at first, they were not instantly aware of who this was, let alone who that would be. The police had never heard of that name before. 2015 is the year that the Dutch police made the largest weapon find they have ever made, and Taghi's name appears in this file. A box in a garage held 44 weaponry, including 22 handguns and 22 automatic weapons, along with bags that held a sizable amount of ammunition for each individual weapon. The box was located in the garage. Throughout the course of the additional inquiry, it was discovered that Discovery was a member of a criminal organization that, in accordance with assertions of the prosecution and the police, was responsible for Ridouan Taghi. During this time, Taghi was becoming involved in an increasing number of investigations that the police were conducting. In addition, there were a great deal more bankruptcies and other forms of liquidation than is typical, and a sizable portion of those bankruptcies could be traced back to Taghi. In point and fact, many of these liquidations included adversaries of Taghi or persons who ventured to talk about Taghi, despite the fact that no one else dared to talk about Taghi. Those who dared to talk about Taghi were eliminated. Because of this, it was very difficult for the police to link Taghi to anything that had ever happened up to this point. Taghi had come to the conclusion that the Netherlands is no longer a secure environment in which to reside, so he has made the decision to depart. He begins his journey in Morocco, but after some time, he boards a speedboat and travels all the way to Spain. In the meantime, the Netherlands is experiencing a wave of liquidations as a direct result of the murder of Ronald Bakker, which took place in Huizen on September 9th, 2015. Bakker was gunned down and killed in his car in front of his home, which was also the location of a spy store from which criminals purchased their equipment, including tracking systems and listening devices. The Taghi believed that Ronald Bakker, the manager of the spy shop, would talk to the police in an earlier effort to kill Ronald Bakker. Criminals with a bazooka wanted to blow up either this bishop's residence or the house of this bishop. To our great relief, this plan was not ultimately successful, and Samir Arahib was not ultimately killed in Eiselstein on April 17, 2016. In the case of the murder of Samir, who was gunned down while his daughter, who was 7 years old at the time and sat next to him in the car, survived the assault. Samir is accused of speaking poorly about Taghi to other criminals who were involved in the crime. Martin Koch, a Canadian crime writer, was likewise taken from us on December 8, 2016. Martin was renowned as a crime reporter who had very little involvement in the personal affairs of the criminals he covered. For example, he would write out full G names and reveal images without a bar. As a consequence, Martin was loathed by a large number of offenders because, owing to him, their real names and photos were posted on the internet. Martin was able to survive an earlier attempt at murder on that day, as a gunman working with Dura raced past him and leveled the rifle at his head, but the firearm failed to fire. This allowed Martin to avoid being killed. An additional attempt was made to blow up Martin by placing a bomb under his car. However, Martin was able to spot the explosive and immediately reported it to the authorities. Subsequently, on January 12, 2017, Hakeem Changachi gets shot dead in Utrecht near his apartment. Nevertheless, it later came out that Hakeem Changachi was not even the genuine target. Changachi was shot dead in Utrecht near his apartment on January 12, 2017. It would appear that Martin Koch is completely oblivious to all of this. There was also a previous effort made to kill Martin by detonating a device that was hidden beneath his vehicle. The bomb is visible to Martin. That turned out to be a mistake, and the true target turned out to be a criminal. After that, Khalid H., who also happened to reside in the same flat as Taghi, revealed that the murder that was committed by accident was the cause of Taghi's collapse. Nabil B. initiates the conversation by starting to speak. Nabil is revealed to be a lawbreaker who has been apprehended and will now face the consequences of his actions. How Taghi operated, and he makes numerous allegations of wrongdoing on Taghi's part. As a consequence, the police consider Nabil to be of exceptional value. After that, they made the subsequent announcement that Nabil would be the primary witness in their investigation into Taghi. 6 days after the news surfaced, Nabil's brother was fatally shot at the place of employment where he worked. Many in the Netherlands have been taken completely by surprise by this news because, just a short while ago, the brother of a witness for the Crown was murdered. Still, then September 18, 2019 occurred. Here in Amsterdam, Nabil's lawyer gets murdered. As a result of what took place, Peter de Vries, who covers criminal cases for a newspaper, claims that Nabil confides in him. He wants to use this to show the Netherlands that he is not frightened and that he wants to help the Crown witnesses. But regrettably, this will also raise a lot of controversy in the Netherlands. He wants to use this to show the Netherlands that he is not afraid. A very large number of people in the Netherlands were taken aback by this news, and politicians interpreted it as an assault on the legal system because of what happened. He left his garden and climbed on. Because Taghi will likely be able to evade capture in the Netherlands, he is arrested in Dubai and then quickly moved to the Netherlands. There, he will be tried for a minimum of 13 murders, the processes for which will be split between 2 mega criminal proceedings that will be the most extensive the Netherlands has ever seen. The following video, which was shot under significant protection from the police and even the military, goes into additional information about our investigation into the killings and the criminal proceedings. What are your thoughts on the case? Please let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications before leaving. Thanks for watching.